What's up, everybody? My phone had died when I was in the car, so I couldn't finish the live stream in the car. So if it says I'm still live in the car, that is a lie. So I will be live in a little while. My phone is like completely dead. I have to charge it. So I will be live here. I'm over here at my pop's house. This is a seer stone. Yeah, this shit is bomb. This is my very, very ancient. This is probably millions and millions of years old. It's amazing. You can see right through. That's the when you find a stone on the beach or somewhere that has a hole in it, a strega called is a seer stone. Especially when it's like beach stone like this. But my phone's about to die again, so let me charge it up, and then I will see you guys live right here at Exploring the Car. Check out this. We got one of my newest harmonizers. I have these up at the website. This is my Quantum Scalar Matrix 6-ring harmonizer. I'm just about to put this new AccuVac coil, freshly made inside. Boom, bang. See, and they're all made. Let me fit that shit in snug. See, they're all made to so it could fit in snugly in the middle, right? And they're all made as well, so not only do you have coil in the middle, it's all made well so you could put a crystal to stand on top and it don't go nowhere, right? So when you stand it up, the crystal's made to go right on top, right? Any crystal, it'll hold. Thank you, Lolo. And it'll hold crystal balls very, very easily. It's made for that. It's a stand, like a pedestal for that, right? Even quartz towers, any kind of crystal, it's made to go on there and rest on the top. It fits crystal balls really well. That's what it's really meant for, some sort of crystal sphere, right? So this is the rainbow labradorite sphere here that you see. The moonstone, rainbow moonstone sphere on here. It's really dope. And then, of course, you could take the AccuVac right out of these, right out of the cage, and use this as your healing. I mean, if you even have if say you burned your hand on the stove, if you put the south end, right, whatever end you're using, as long as it's the clockwise turn, put that bottom end towards the pain, the negative energy, the pain, will literally get sucked through the bottom of this. And then positive energy goes spiraling down and back in. New energy, right? Clean energy. And it's being interfaced with the copper, the positive charge of the copper. It's very powerful. And the way the copper responds to your blood and everything. Yes, I sell just these. Yes, AccuVacs. They're called AccuVacs. I have I have ones that even, you could wear as pendants. And even the smaller harmonizers that I sell, for like a pendant, if you want to hear people wear, you can hang these in your car, You don't have to just wear them around your neck. You could wear these in your car. All they're meant for a lot of different things. But they have the AccuVac inside these ones, sealed inside these. So the copper, some there's a few places that we like to get it from. Australia, one of them, and India. So this is one of the most expensive and hard parts of the tensor game, is getting the good copper. So this is part of what we do, and part of why my prices are certain prices, and part of my crystals are certain prices, because I try to get the most high end I can get. And there's times where I wait many years to get the right moonstone or crystal or kyanite. There's time I've passed up numerous times. So I only have a few people I like to deal with too as well. So thank you very much for asking. What else? So I have a new product as well that goes around the ear. It's an AccuVac that is meant to, and it goes right snug around the ear. I don't have it with me right now, but I left. I will. I will in a little while. I will have one in a little while for you guys to see. It'll be freshly made in a little bit, but there's one other one. There's two other prototypes that I have, two different kinds, and it's finally made perfectly. For right now, I mean, I might update it later on in the future, but for right now, it literally it's an AccuVac that is designed so you can hang it on your ear, and it fits nice and snug, almost like a Bluetooth or something like that earpiece. And the AccuVac is right around the back of your ear. It goes in the, so you don't see it. You just see the little line of copper, the bar of copper here. So the AccuVac goes, fits right behind your ear here. So if you're using the phone, or headset, anything that has electromagnetic EMF waves that are coming towards your brain, you know, it's perfect for that. Even for headaches, all of that. It's a design that I was thinking about for a while that I finally got to come to life. So that's it's very exciting to come out with this new one as well. So for those that don't know, I experienced some weird ball lightning or whatever it was last night that happened. I don't know exactly what it was, or if science knows what these things are, but uh, it was more than a random phenomena. So this is a scalar wave machine. The ball lightning experience first before I go over. I don't think it's just some random phenomena, like science says. I do think there's some sort of intelligence behind it. It looked even like it had some sort of like computer code writing on it. Very interesting. But this typically is like a scalar wave machine, you know. I don't think it was dark AI. I don't know what it was, but it seemed like it was part of the planet. But like our planet has many dimensions to it, many parallel worlds attached to it. It seemed like it was connected to a technology of this planet. That's what it seemed like. It didn't seem like it was evil. The Moonstone Labradorite. So this batch of Labradorite moonstones, rainbow moonstone, whatever you want to call, comes from, I think, Sri Lanka, but I know it comes from India. I'm pretty sure it's Sri Lanka, though, specifically of India, that I got the this rainbow moonstone from. And I'm telling you, it's the best I've ever had. I mean, sometimes you can get different cluster specimens that I want to try to get next, but for regular, nice and polished pieces, these are pretty dope. I got a few here I could show you. What the other stock is at my house. Right now I'm at my father's house, but where me, my wife, and my daughter live is the whole stock of it. But I have a little case that I had put in my car yesterday for the video I was doing. So I have a few pieces with me. I have like samples of each kind. So yeah, this is These are like the towers, and and these, you can't really see the sheen on it right now. Hold on, let me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the sheen on it from the way the angle is on this video, but this one has a lot of sheen on it that you can't even see in the video right now. So you can't even. You don't have to send me crystals. I don't. I have a lot of crystals, so you don't. I appreciate it, but I don't just like receive random crystals from people either. So I do appreciate it though. Maybe if we like built a relationship up and we knew each other for a while, then yeah, I would accept it. But I have so many crystals. I literally have thousands and thousands of crystals. So I do appreciate it though. I do appreciate it. Yeah, these are really amazing. See, even like the AccuVac, you could put things stand right on top. You know, you can't even see the sheen. I can't believe you guys can't see the sheen in the video right now of these, because this one. Hold on, I gotta show you guys somehow. Hold on, maybe if I put. Yeah, you can't even see it like that. Hold on, let me see. There, now you can see what I'm talking about. You see, guys, what I'm saying? You couldn't see in the video before, but the sheen on these is just remarkable. Look at that. Certain angle, see this? What I'm talking about? You couldn't see it on the other angle, but these are just encoded with information. These are like echoes of ancient memory within this, and this literally stimulates your pineal gland and your ancestral memory and your unexpressed DNA. I know for a fact because I've been using it, and it stimulates your pineal in so many ways, and you can see that they're just encoded with magic, you know, just literal amazing. And I do feel this is where the memory is, and some of the power. Like, check this out. Even like some of these obelisks, look at right in the tip. It's like, look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. There's a reason for everything in this planet. This is not just some random phenomena that happens on the crystal. This is encoded. And this is a once in a lifetime purchase, these things, you know what I mean? And even things like the watermelon tourmaline. I mean, this is like cascades of Lemurian quartz and watermelon tourmaline in here. You know, it's like the most amazing crystal healing is one of the most. The crystal and copper tool healing is the reason why I left a normal job, and I've been barely breaking even making money, because I know it's helping heal the world and helping unite people. And remember, it's helping the harmonic frequencies. We're at a frequency war. For people that don't know, we are evolving through dark frequencies right now, and it's time to reawaken the harmonic frequencies of our biosystem. Of course, this is muscovite right here, golden star mica or muscovite. You know, and I have a lot of watermelon tourmaline that people, you know, great homes need to find these. They're looking for the right homes. Check out, these are cubes of rainbow moonstone here. So far, I only have some of the wands up at the website. I will have later, because I had to do pictures and, of course, descriptions and all this stuff, and upload the pictures and all this on my website. So I have these wands up for sale already, some of these wands on my website. I will be adding hexagons, chunks, like different pieces and chunks. I'm weighing out all different pieces and chunks that I have like this. Hexagons, cubes, ovals, or paperweights, whatever you want to call these kinds. I have these kinds as well, and different size wands, and like I said, hexagons. Oh, and hearts. I have some hearts as well. I don't have any of the hearts with me right now, but I have hexagons and hearts that are going to be going up there as well. This is Halloween sales that we're having, and I put yesterday or the day before, I put a whole bunch of new sales up on my website where I'm putting 5%, 10% off different products. So these are really powerful. Look at that. Look at that sheen on that hexagon too. Amazing. Look at that. It's really amazing. Of course, you guys have been following my work. You guys have seen the rainbow, I mean the black labradorite crystal skull that I have. That thing is. Let me plug my phone back in. Hold on, because it's. Oh, man, I still gotta charge this shit. Okay, I had to plug my shit back in. But yeah, so let me shut that big light out so it's not in our faces again. Yeah, so this is really, really amazing. And like I said, the harmonizers, all different size harmonizers are available. And the AccuVacs, these are truly great for healing. All the tensor tools are made for healing. And the 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 rings are great for that as well. Just putting them over certain spots, you could put them, there's pendants, all that. They all reduce fatigue. They're so powerful. And we're going to be doing a broadcast. Last night I was going to be doing a live show for my patrons. It ended up taking me a few hours to find, you know what? And it was the best $50 I've ever spent in my life. Even though times are hard right now and it's really not in the budget. And it's been raining, and because of COVID, people aren't really going to be doing Halloween. I didn't want to. I felt weird not getting my daughter her a Halloween present, and a costume, because we're still gonna get dressed up. Maybe we'll go to a few houses around, but she's gonna probably wear her costume for 2 days, 3 days. It's just how she is. And she's been saying Happy Halloween all week, so she's aware it's Halloween. She's 2.5, but she grasps the idea that it's Halloween. She's been saying Happy Halloween and all of this. So last night, of course, it's last minute. I went to all the little local places around me that have costumes, and the ones that they did have left were pretty cheap and disgusting. Some of them were real slutty looking, even too, for a young girl, and they were just you know scary ones, or stuff not for a 2.5-year-old little girl. So I decided to drive to like more towards like the malls, like the Palisades Mall and all that area, Party City and all those places. So I went out, and it took me a couple hours to actually find a place that had some decent ones. I went to like 3 or 4 different places, and finally I come to the store where it's just that store's made for Halloween costumes, right? And I go in there, and all the toddler and child ones that were cute that I liked were gone, at a sale, right? And so I'm looking. I'm like, okay, maybe I can make up a costume. Like I was thinking maybe I could, because I wanted something I could pull up over, because she's not going to really wear a mask, and she's probably not going to keep that on her face. I know how she is. So I wanted something like I could pull as a hood where her face is open, but there's like a hood, like maybe a hood that has lion ears or something cute like that, and then I could maybe, make another costume, I figured, or something. So I'm looking through the aisles, and finally, for after like me being in the store for like 40 minutes, and the store was packed, and they were making announcements like try to stay 6 feet away from everybody. Like it was like pretty tense in the store too. because people were like trying to stay away from everybody, but there was like 100 people in the freaking store. And finally, one of the supervisors pulls me aside out of all the other people that are around. I'm standing there looking at stuff. I wasn't even talking to no one at all. He pulls me aside and says, "You're," because I had been another. He had saw me, and I know he saw me because he was standing right next to one of the younger girls that worked there. She had a little like iPad certain thing, or some sort of electronic device. So on the wall they had all these costumes with numbers. So you had to give her the number of the costume you wanted, and she looks in the inventory to see if they have it. So all the numbers I was giving her, she was like, "Oh, we don't have it. It's sold out. It's sold out. It's sold out." So he knows I was looking for something for my little girl, right? So I'm over there by myself like a half an hour later, and he walks up to me. He goes, "How big is your little girl?" I was like, and I looked up. I was like, "What?" At first, because I didn't know, and then I saw the guy works there. He goes, "Your daughter, how old, how big is she? What's her clothing size?" And I'm like, "Well, like around 3T or 4T." So he was like, "Come with me." She's like, "What is she like?" And I'm like, "To tell you the truth, she likes, boy stuff and girl stuff. She likes Star Wars. She likes this." So as soon as I said that, he was like, "Come with me." So my instinct was just like, go. So I followed, and he took me to the back of the store where it said associates only. He's like, "Come on." I walked in with him, and he had it hidden. So I don't know if these guys stash things for certain customers or what they do, but he had it hidden. One costume, he had a little box hidden, and the box had different sizes. It said toddler, child, adult, right? So he had one costume in the toddler spot, and it was Baby Yoda. I was like, "I don't care how much it is, just give it. I'm buying it." And then I found, and it's amazing. It fits. I can't believe it fits like it was made for her, made for her. And she could still wear some clothes underneath. Like it fits perfectly. I couldn't. It was like it was sized for her, And I also got I started to look around, and I found a rechargeable, reusable glow stick that looks more like a lightsaber than the lightsabers they sell. I had to get it. It was, I mean, it worked out perfectly, and it took me a while, but I'm really happy. If it's the last $50 I spend in my life, it was it's the best I ever spent, for sure. It really, really was. So I'm very happy. And then so it took me like a few hours. So I was already late. I was planning on doing a live stream. So I was already late to come home to do the live stream. Then by the time I got home, it was like almost 7 o'clock at night. I had to get them dinner. So I went to get them dinner, and then on my way home, it was just getting dark out. It was like almost 7 o'clock. I was and this happened to me with the ball. I get this is, and I looked it up. The phenomena they call it is like ball light. It looks exactly what they describe as ball lightning. It was above my car. It like passed through my roof almost. It seemed like it dissipated into my roof, or it was weird. Even my windshield seemed to be imprinted with what the line and the stuff that it had on it. And I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it didn't feel like it was evil. It felt like it was like part of the multi-dimensional Earth system. Like it was almost like related to what creates crop circles or something like that. It seemed like an intelligence. It didn't just seem like some random phenomena to me. Definitely not. Definitely not. So we are in my old room right now at my dad's house. That's why you guys don't usually see this background or anything like that. It's not actually the room I grew up in, but it's where all my stuff was moved to. I used to, they actually had converted the garage to where I used to, into like a heat, had heat in there and everything. But now it's back to a garage. But at one time, my sister, when she lived at home, my sister and brother are a lot older than me. She had her own grooming business in there. Before she got married and got her own business somewhere else. She had her own dog grooming business in there. And then when she moved out, they converted it into like a bedroom for me. But then when I moved out, my dad put it back to a garage. So all my stuff, when I moved out of my house, I was in Middletown. I had moved out of my house a couple years ago when I changed relationships, and then I ended up having Tana. I had a house, before this, for like 10 years. And when me and my ex broke up, I brought a lot of my stuff back home, and we put it in the spare room down here, which used to be my toy room as a kid. It used to be like it used to be like a room for toys and everything. So this is how I ended up here. But I have a lot of my cool stuff in here that I've been saving for a long time. Check this out. Check this out. For those that like anime, I don't know if you guys remember from I think it was from the 90s that Soul Taker came out. But I like Spawn too and Todd McFarlane and McFarlane stuff. So, well, right here I have, check this, old G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe and the Commander. In the box. This is Soul Taker. I don't. Let me see when this was from. Well, this was from 2001. This was made in 2001, but oh, 1997. It said, okay, Akira is 2001. Or is there 1997? Oh, Akira on the back, because there's an Akira. There's an Akira. Advertisement here on the back. I'm trying to think of what this is from. Soul Taker. Oh, yep. This is 2001. This was made 2001. So this is from 2001, but I know it's like the late 90s when the actual anime came out. But this is pretty dope. This is made from, you know, McFarlane Toys. Had a little dust on it. Yeah, this is pretty dope. I never opened it either. I feel like opening it right now. I really do. I'm gonna save this one. I think it was dust. I'm not like there could be orbs all around me, but I did swipe off some dust from it, so you probably saw some dust go. I don't know if it was actual orbs, but there are orbs all the time in videos that I see. But right now my video is like poor quality sometimes, so you can't really see. But I did wipe off some dust. Check out, I do have something from Spawn if you guys want to see. And don't worry, we're going to be getting to some information in a minute, because I have some interesting information I want to share with you guys, especially about Edgar Casey and channeling. Well, no, Soul Taker is the anime. Hold on, I probably have it here somewhere, the anime. Because I have, oh, I didn't bring a lot of this stuff with me to where I live right now. Damn. Yo, who remembers this? The original Fist of the North Star. Who remembers this? This is the first season. These are the original Fist of the North Star. Who remembers this? Oh man, this shit was classic. This is the first season too. Ken! See, they put the fingers through his body, and it's like a constellation. Yes, he has like the Big Dipper or something on his 7 stars. Or is it the Pleiades? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which 7 stars it is, but he has the 7 stars on his chest. The Fist of the North Star. Well, me and Rex Bear, we do monthly shows. I'll be back on Rex on November 2nd. So I'm pretty much a monthly guest at Rex Bear Show. Yeah, this was a cool anime too. Requiem from the Darkness. This was a cool anime. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find Soul Taker right now, but I have it somewhere for sure. But it was a pretty interesting concept. The anime was basically like there was this hospital that was making like mutant hybrids and making people into like where they can transform into these what you see here, like these super hybrid creatures with powers. And you know, that was basically what was going on. Hospital freaks would escape and shit like that. It's pretty crazy. But I do have something from Spawn still in the box as well. What is this called? The Annihilator or something, right? The Violator. The Violator. The Violator. This is old too now. Damn, this one is from 1994. This shit is from 1994. I've had this in box since. It's pretty crazy. You know, and I don't even know if they're worth that much money, but they have a comic book inside this one too. Yeah, this is pretty dope. McFarlane Toys. The biting action jaw and fully posable body. Yeah, it does have that biting jaw. See that shit? I know, I do want to open it so bad. How'd you guys know? I really do want to open it. Especially the Spawn one. And also, I have from Edition of Spawn where they did the Egyptian style ones. Check this shit out. I got it hanging on the wall. Soldier of Ra. It's the Pharaohs, the Age of the Spawn, the Age of the Pharaohs editions. This came out in what? It was later on. This was 2000. 2008. This was 2008. So even this is pretty damn old though now. Soldier of Ra. This is pretty crazy. They had all ones. They had the crocodile guy too. The Crocodile King. This one is pretty intense. Look at even the staff that they have on that shit. Man, it's pretty detailed. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, should we do an unboxing? Should we do an unboxing? This is Series 33 too, look. It says, Soldier of Ra. These emissaries are created from the tears and sweat of the sun god Ra, and serve as deadly reminders of his fury and might. Man, that's what it looks like when it's all dressed up. I like the Ankh on his belt, too. Check that belt out. Yeah, no, I'm saving all these for my kids. I mean, guys, I have a lot of my old toys. A lot of them were thrown out, too, but a lot of them were saved as well. It's like a mixture. Because I did have a lot of... I'll give it that. I went through some problems growing up, but I did have... In certain ways, I did have many things that many kids didn't have. I had some toys and... I had things that, I'm grateful for. And I did have a lot of toys as a kid. I'll give my parents that. They didn't take care of me that way very well. And I had GoBots. I have still some of these still, like all these GoBots. I had like Star Wars characters. So there's times where kids grow up and they never get the chance to have toys like that. And it was a big part of my childhood. And a lot of these toys, when I pick them up, I feel an imprint of my energy as a kid. And all of our, that's why sometimes it's not even that I get sentimental over them, is that our body is a very interesting computer. And I know I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I would listen to what I have to say. Our body, in my opinion, can take like a screenshot of when our physical and spiritual health was divine in a way, pure and completely healthy, when our whole bioenergetic system was healthy and pure and not riddled with insecurities and doubt and everything else. And our body can has a screenshot of that. Our body remembers the signature of our energy imprint and physical body when it was healthy and completely running at a good level. We can switch our current condition back to that energy imprint if we learn how to turn the switch within our spinal column. And that's outside of our physical body, the energy imprint of our spine. You could flip the switch back to the time when you were in a healthy state. Finding that switch is the key. And a lot of healers and shamanistic healers can do this for people. They can switch that signature key, turn that switch. That's why you have these psychic healings and psychic surgeries, where people go to like some Mexican guy that's basically a peasant, right? He's basically living in a tent with no money, basically just getting by. But he's one of the happiest men in the world, even though he's poor and all of this. And he can cure somebody in 1 minute, do things that doctors never could. And yes, there's some false ones out there and bullshitters, of course, like with anything. But the only reason why there exists people that mimic that is because there's a realness that does exist out there that people were so amazed by that they decided to mimic it. It is about the intention, and it is about tapping in to the biosystem of human consciousness, the collective consciousness of humanity, and destroying negative currents of energy. It's all about destroying the negative energy, and this is why we even do the spirit flame ritual in my Italian heritage. And you just throwing all the negative energy into the flame, getting rid of it all, and bringing in the new ancestral knowledge, getting rid of all the negative blockages, throwing them in the fire. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do is I help heal people. Sometimes even our own physical health can't be healed in some ways. Like sometimes the healers, they have problems just like all of you balancing their life, right? And sometimes we accumulate so much psychic energy from people, if we're not filtering it out properly the right way, it starts to affect us. And filtering out properly the right way is by helping other people with their negative energy, right? And not to put more negative energy out there. And like everyone else, I struggle with it as well. I struggle with it as well, but I have the gift of being able to find those energy imprints and help change people. And I've done it before. That's why I chose even to start working with copper tools and crystals. We are just rediscovering this ancient technology. And there's a difference between learning how to channel and tapping into your higher self. And I talked about this a little bit the other day. Channeling is very dangerous. When you become an instrument for another entity, it's very, very dangerous. And it's milking your life force. And I've had things try to enter me before, so there's times where I woke up and it felt like my physical body got pushed down by an invisible force and my astral body was getting ripped out. Literally, like I was stuck like this, and I couldn't even scream. You try to scream, and you can't. It's like your physical body got an invisible hand just shoved your physical body out and tried to rip out your spirit. That's what it feels like. And I had to fight my way back into my body, you know? So this happened many, many years back. And ever since then, copper tools and crystals have been protecting me. It's never happened like that ever again since. There's a boundary of my space that can't be annihilated. Even negative dreams dissipate. You know, if I do have a nightmare now, it's usually some sort of sign or some sort of travel that I'm going through. You know, and if there's a difference between the traveling and a nightmare, the nightmares are usually some sort of spiritual sign. You know, but when you have certain objects, they reflect who you are truly in your heart. And that's why rainbow moonstone is very important, because it is one of these crystals and stones that reflect who you are on the inside. That's why, and I'm not sure if they do this all over, but I know for Italians, in my heritage, even covens, ancient covens, and let's sort of talk about that word for a minute as well, and the word witch, because witch has been the most demonized word in the world, and in many ways I consider myself a witch, right? This is someone who uses the earth energies to harmonize the way they feel about themselves and the way they interact with themselves and their surroundings, right? And of course there are dark witches who use those earth energies to manipulate the will of other people and themselves, right? So there's a big difference. Now, just in many ways, this word has been demonized, right? So a witch is basically a mystic, a shaman, right? And there's good and bad of everything. And there are hereditary lines or covens that have this knowledge that gets more powerful and more powerful with each generation, that gets added more knowledge, and it's passed down. And this is what I have within my DNA. And there are many, many covens in Italy that use moonstone, where the elder will give the youngest, newest member of the family a moonstone to carry. And after a period of time, the moonstone will interact and reflect the person that's inside into the moonstone. And then the elder of the family will retrieve that moonstone to get a feel of who that person is by holding it. And they'll give it back to the person for it to be theirs, but they'll catch a glimpse of who they are by meditating with that moonstone. And that is a very powerful tradition that is looked at as some sort of crazy primitive superstition, but it's an ancient technology, a spiritual technology of ancestral memory being passed, being put an energy imprint of who the person is, interfacing with this stone or crystal, right? This is amazing, amazing information. Guys, we'll be doing a live stream in just a few hours, and we're going to be talking about, on my Patreon, the possibility of Edgar Cayce being the sleeping prophet that channeled the Urantia book, and how I came about some very mind-blowing information. When I came to the Urantia book in the late 1990s, a psychic experience came over me where I saw the face of what turned out to be Edgar Cayce, and I saw him sleeping there, and I saw his eyes open and then close. And then as his eyes closed, I saw something that looked like the Silver Surfer standing behind him, but was like 25 to 30 feet tall. And it looked like kind of like what the Silver Surfer looked like. And even when it moved its arms, it seemed to have like these trails of information that was like almost like there was like a wing that came out of information that was in the waves of energy, right? And it moved its neck back in a weird way. and it went like forward and then back, and then as it went back, the man Edgar Casey started speaking in his sleep, right? This was some sort of like seraphim type otherworldly being, and I do think it was speaking through Edgar Casey and embodying him at times. And in my opinion, the psychiatrist, and he was an author as well, Dr. William Sadler, he's the one responsible for the Urantia books. I believe he had Edgar Casey in his office, and he was using Edgar Casey while he was asleep to contact and channel these seraphic entities that had an agenda, And I do think a lot of the Urantia book was directly from the channel of Edgar Casey. And when I had this vision come to me, I eventually looked into it, and I found that there's a group of people that believe the same as me as well, and even have written books about it. And they did a lot of digging. More, me, I just had like a vision, but they did digging, and they found out that Edgar Casey, for a couple of years, was making periodic visits to Chicago. And it was very mysterious. He was staying there in a hotel for days, and then he would go to some institute, right? And I do think he was working with Dr. Sadler, and Dr. Sadler covered it up and never admitted who the sleeping prophet was that channeled the Urantia book, right? So, why YouTube's terrified of chat now? Yeah, YouTube's, yeah, they're whack. They're whack, totally whack. But whatever, it is what it is. Even Facebook like puts like restrictions on my post if I mention like my tensor tools or something. They'll do weird stuff. So here we have, of course, the Urantia book, right? I've had this book since the 1990s. It's over 2,000 pages, and it's a channel about the history of this universe, all the surrounding universes, and the history of Urantia, which is planet Earth. They call planet Earth, which is very interesting because the Phoenicians called Earth Urania. I don't know if people know that, but the Earth god in Earth to the Phoenicians was Urania. So this is basically exactly what the Urantia book says. Urantia is the name of Earth, right? To them. And I do think he was channeling some sort of seraphic entity that's connected to ancient Mesopotamia and Babylon and Ugaritic, that whole area. So Dr. Sadler, who was the one who published this book, when asked who the channel was, because they say in here it was channeled from all these archangels, right? Different archangels, like right here, it was by an archangel of Nebadon, right? Even Jesus, they call him Michael of Nebadon, which is very interesting because it lines up with the Seventh-day Adventists. And even the Jehovah Witness, right? They look at Jesus as his real name being Michael, and almost like Archangel Michael is almost like the same being as Jesus. That's basically what they're saying here in the Urantia book as well, right? And that is very interesting. So they call Jesus Michael of Nebadon, right? So a lot of these channels, they say, is by an archangel of Nebadon or something like this. So when Dr. Sadler was asked who was the person who channeled these archangels, and he said that he and his wife was contacted. He was a psychiatrist, a well-known psychiatrist, and he was contacted by a woman who said that her husband at night would fall into a deep sleep and start talking in his sleep and giving out information that he couldn't not have known, right? And he never revealed who this man's name was because he said it was, confidential because he was, he was a psychiatrist. But after the 1940s, when Edgar Casey dies, this book comes out, right? And I think he was using Edgar Casey without Edgar Casey even knowing that he was being embodied. And it might have even, who knows? It might have caused bad things for Edgar Casey. It might have caused some bad things for him. And I think he was being manipulated by this doctor for the doctor to get information that led to his book. And there was these group of authors that were bookstore owners. Damn, I dropped this in the mud before. Now in the water. Now it got all messed up. But there was these group of that's interesting because this fell out on the driveway for just 1 second in the rain, and look what it caused. It caused like black markings, brown markings. That's what the rain did just now, just from walking in the rain. That's how polluted the rain is. This is a brand new book. But there was these two people that wrote, and I didn't know about this book when because you guys can look up. I've even said years back on videos that I thought Edgar Casey was responsible for part of the Urantia book. Well, it turns out somebody wrote a book about that years back too as well. Edgar Casey and the Urantia book, and they went through all of Edgar Casey's diary and published readings, and he had a notebook of all of his travels, and they even have all the times that he went to Chicago, and all the times he booked himself in from first time he went to Chicago, according to his notes, was 1911, and he spent most of his time at an institute in Chicago. And then from 1923 to 1939, he was making yearly visits pretty much to Chicago and staying for clips at a time, sometimes months, right? So there was times he had a couple of year break, but a lot of it lines up to Dr. Sadler. Dr. Sadler, of course, was from Chicago. This is where his offices were, and there's so many connections that is really intense, and even they were both. Edgar Casey and the supposed sleeping prophet from the Urantia book were channeled using a stenographer, recorded by a stenographer. Both of them were sleeping men, right? There's so many beliefs too, even with the Jesus and everything that's involved, that could be Edgar Casey. Although, and in the readings here, right when the Urantia book came out, there was a woman who sent the Urantia book to Edgar Casey and says that this seems very similar to you, and he never responded to the woman, and he would respond to most of all his clients. This was a woman that was part of the ARE, or whatever his research group was at the time. He had like Edgar Casey had a forum before there were forums, like internet forums. He would have a forum where people would correspond by writing, and they would talk about their psychic problems and psychic things and different things. And he had a whole forum going on with people. And he was doing readings on people and sessions on people, and there's no way Dr. Sadler didn't even know. Even Houdini, right before his death, met up with Edgar Casey. And I found proof to that as well in my own digging. So we're going to be talking about all this and more on my live chat later on. And I definitely, guys, go to the mysticalspiralstore.com and change your life today. There's no reason for people not to have these tools. I mean, especially we're getting bombarded all day long by bad frequencies and harmful waves of energy. Why would you not want to help protect yourself? If you can't afford them, try to make them yourself. But they're definitely life-changing. Definitely life changing. What else did I have? I think that's pretty much it for right now. But I'm glad you guys are all joining me. Let's see what's up with the chat. Yeah, I've done talks about dolphins. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Dolphins, they I think our brain waves is like at 8 hertz or something like that. They their sonar, the way they think, they hear our thoughts like it's a music being played on headphones inside of them. So when we have bad thoughts, it gives them a bad song, a real sad song. When we are the collective consciousness of humanity is harmonious, that's when they truly thrive, and we can relate to them in a very interesting way and learn about our ancestral past and who we really are. And dolphins is part of that. Dolphins is part of the collective mammal consciousness, and they can hear our thoughts like it's a headset, you know. Um, no doubt the balanced rock, not to mention, guys, I don't know if you guys realize, but the megalithic healing chamber in North Salem, New York, that they call the balanced rock, I charge these crystals out there. Every new shipment of crystals I bring, and it's and plant seeds that you put in this chamber experienced enhanced seed growth. Water gets cleansed within this chamber, and it's scientifically been proving about the magnetic anomaly there, and about the seed growth, and about plants growing better that have been charged by this spot. So it's not my imagination. There's been scientific tests to back up this proof as well. So these are very, very powerfully charged and amazing, once in a lifetime products that I've risked my livelihood to start doing, you know? So, no doubt, no doubt. Yes, that rock is truly one of the, it's not just one of the most amazing megalithic dolmens in North America, or Northeast America, but in the world. You can't, and I found another one that's about an hour and a half away that's very similar looking, right? But it's not balancing, it's just there. And there's not too many like that in the world, right? And it's very, in Korea they have ones like similar, right? But not ones that look like a feline's head like that. So this is really one of the most mind-blowing pieces in the world. I know, and I've been talking about this rock for years now, but recently in the last year or so, even Ancient Aliens, that show, and that show, maybe at first when it came out, I watched it, and some of the places they talked about was very interesting. Certain places that I've researched as well, certain topics that I've been researching as well. But they just, everything is, they have a script they're following, an agenda. So it's not like, it's not really the best, I would recommend for people getting their information from, you know but it's entertainment for sure. It's good entertainment to watch some of it. But yeah, I heard that Ancient Aliens even did a video on it, and I do respect the guy. I think they did get Hugh Newman, who I've corresponded with before, who's been there as well. But I've grew up around this rock in this area, the Hudson Valley. I know the energy of it well, and this is a very powerful place that's filled with a lot of dark and a lot of light. There's a lot of both. It's a very paranormal area, this whole lower Hudson Valley. All throughout, from Westchester, Rockland to Orange to Putnam to Dutchess, all the way up from New York City, all the way up. You know, there's a few counties that have it's on a very mysterious ley line or energy spot, and it's all based right on the Hudson River, along the Hudson River, and there's mountains around it, of course, all of it. And I do feel that there was ancient volcanoes and comets attached to this area as well. A lot of spots I believe that volcanoes are on today are also spots where there's been comet impacts or some sort of comet activity. I do think they're both related, and I do think also that comet impacts bring activation codes to awaken sleeping volcanoes, and they bring volcanoes to life. The vibrational codes of the impact bring sleeping volcanoes to life. Yeah, Connecticut, Vermont, New York, all this area, all the way up to Maine, are riddled with megalithic spots, rock rock walls, stone chambers, and all of this, all up down the northeast. It's a very powerful spot of the country. So we'll see you in a couple hours, everybody. Thank you for supporting me. You can support me right here, Patreon. I mean, on YouTube, right in the chat. You can support me at PayPal. Definitely support my channel. It definitely needs your support, everybody. So we'll see you in a little while on my Patreon, patreon.com/themysticalspiral. Of course, check out themysticalspiralstore.com and my show on Saturday nights, Truth Frequency Radio, at tfrlive.com/IofRaw. This Saturday night, my Halloween show, I'll be having my friend Solaris Blue Raven. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you, girl. That helps so much. 333 is a great number. Oh, amazing. Thank you. So Solaris will be my guest this Saturday night for Halloween show, and I'm very happy to have her. She's an old friend of mine, and we're gonna have a great show. Thank you so much for supporting me. We'll see you in a little while at Patreon. Go check out the mysticalspiralstore.com. Don't front. Spiral out.